Greetings, distinguished comrades and all lovers of the African race, both in the continent and the diaspora. I remain my humble self, Comrade Todo DAAN-LEAP, and we are continuing our podcast program from where we stopped the other time. I want to use this opportunity to thank the founder and the CEO of the Diaspora African American Network, in person of Miss Rankin Kelly Gomez, for putting up this wonderful educational initiative called the DAAN-LEAP, the Diaspora African American Network Learning Education Activity Program. It is indeed a groundbreaking educational program that will not just make the vision of the mentally and economically liberated Africa a mere wish, but indeed it is going to make it a vision that is fully capacity-wise endowed. As far as leadership is concerned, as far as science is concerned, and even technology is concerned. I really thank her for putting the baseline for us to push this thing from. Now, I must start from this. During the time of the Holocaust, when the Jewish were scattered all over the world as a result of the Second World War, when Adolf Hitler strategically struck them, they were scattered all over the world because of that tragic event. I remember vividly well, Albert Einstein, the great physicist, was one of the frontliner of the Jew who traveled to different parts of the country where the Jew are scattered globally around the world. Why was he traveling? Because he came to the realization that without the synergy of the Jew at home and the Jew in the diaspora coming together to put a strong workforce together in reviving their home, it will be very difficult for them to build a mentally and economically liberated nation. So Albert Einstein, the great physicist, traveled around the world, Europe, America, and different other places, sometimes even along with his spouse, canvassing, campaigning, mobilizing the Jew together so that they can harness their intellectual, financial, and other form of resources together in order for them to build Israel. Because they came to the understanding that for as long as Israel is not being built greatly to stand, there is no Jew in the world that is going to be respected the way he or she ought to be respected. And I believe the scenario we are having today, as far as Africa is concerned, is not different from what they passed through. Now, the actualization of the mentally and economic liberation of the African people can never be effective if we don't synergize forces between Africans at home in Africa and the African diaspora. Because no matter how you look at it, no matter where you are, for as long as you carry the black badge, globally you are an African. And for as long as Africa is not economically and mentally free, it will always affect you anywhere you are in the world. It is just a reality. Now, it is in light of this that my global leader, Kelly Rankin Gomez, came up and she brought up this initiative called the DAAN-LEAP program. When she came to Nigeria, when we met, she told me, she said, we need to start looking for a future whereby we can create an educational platform that will have programs and activities that will deal with some of the lapses we are having in the contemporary African educational system. Like, for example, the African history, leadership, then science and technology education, most especially the STEM education program. It is very important, because you can never say being strong and being liberated is not just a state of feeling. It must be a state that is well propelled and endowed with the required capacity that cannot be disputed anywhere in the world. Now, she came up with this idea with the DAAN-LEAP program. what is the DAAN-LEAP program? It's the Diaspora African American Network Learning Educational Program. She came up with this initiative and said, see, let's create a platform whereby we can be running this program concurrently for teenagers and youths in the diaspora, and at the same time run the same program for teenagers and youth in the continent in terms of African history, leadership, which is one of our strongest problems, and science education, most especially the STEM education. So what this program is all about is that we create a platform whereby students in the diaspora are being taught on a particular set of curriculum on this program, and while students in the continent at the same time are being taught on that same curriculum on this program. Now, at the end of this program, once they graduate and they are satisfied, they will be integrated into a common community. That is, we are uniting the kids from home and the diaspora in a common community, but remember, they have undergone through an educational process that has similar or the same curriculum that was used to educate them. So what we have successfully done is that mentally they have been synchronized. So in this community, when they come together, what do they stand to achieve? They stand to achieve unity. One, they stand to share ideas, they stand to share opportunities, information, and at the same time they stand to also enjoy some scholarship opportunity that will come up as far as the organization and other related organization is concerned. Now, the STEM program is a very powerful program. Now, and it is designed in such a way that it is meeting up with the lapses we have currently in our own educational system. Because when we look at it, when we compare our educational system that we are having, you look at it, you compare it to what the Chinese are having, the Europeans are having, and other parts of the world are having in terms of science and technology capacity development, there is a way in which we are lagging behind. So when we bring up this program to meet up that process, and at the end of the day we synchronize all of these things, by so doing, we will seriously be what? Pushing our children and unborn children into converting the continent into a paradise for their people, their children, and unborn children in this life, and if possible even that beyond. So that is the initiative of what the DAAN-LEAP program is all about. And this program is flexibly designed in such a way that it is never going to affect the normal academic and calendar activity of most of our school in the continent. Because why? It is a kind of like, it is a program that is designed on online and offline basis, then with all resource persons that are needed to drive this program being put in place, and all resource material that is needed to drive this program being put in place. So this is technically the future of what we want, because we must unite as a race, we must unite as a people. The American diaspora, they are respected anywhere you find them in the world because American is great. The Israeli diaspora are respected anywhere you find them in the world because Israel is great. The German diaspora, they are respected, etc., etc. Even recently down to the Arabians. The Arabians are respected everywhere in the world, because people, front leaders like Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and front leaders like Sheikh Zahid and the rest, they have put up initiatives that have made many of the Arab nations like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the rest very, very great. So their people are respected all over the world. Even the Chinese, they are respected. So your respect as a race technically comes from how strong and how independent and how capable your origin of race is. No matter where you are in the world globally, for as long as you carry the black badge, you are an African. Marcus Garvey says the black badge is a badge of honor and not dishonor anywhere. So no matter where you are in the world, For as long as you carry the black badge, you are an Africa. And we must understand this. For a very long time, we have been miseducated. We have been taught and technically made to understand that like it is make it to look as if some of our problems are genetic. No, our economic and mental problems we are having is not genetic. It is a systematic problem that are made to educate us, to culture us, and to design us the way we are for the sole benefit of those who are benefiting. Ignorance is a multi-million dollars and multi-billion dollars to the people who created that system for a particular people to be ignorant, and they will fight and do whatever they can do possible to ensure that you remain that ignorant. And just like the way we have said, there are two ways to view things. Is either you accept things the way they are, or rather you build the right knowledge and capacity to transform things the way they ought to be. And we are saying enough is enough. We must transform this continent to become a paradise the way God Almighty have designed it to be, for our children and unborn children to experience the paradise while on earth, even before they leave the earth. A very vibrant team has been set up, resource persons and all necessary resources that is needed to propel this program to the apex and the peak of how it is supposed to be, and for it to be sustainable has been put in place. Details on the DAAN-LEAP program will continue to come out as we continue other episodes of the Vision for a New African podcast program. Thank you very much. For more inquiry, you can always contact us and we'll provide details to questions that you have at mind. Thank you very, very much. I remain my humble self, Comrade Todo D. Enejo. God bless you. God bless Africa and God bless humanity. Thank you.